Hello, my name is Captain Logan, and you're checking out a review for the Logitech Astro A50 headsets and why these might be replacing your headsets. Thank you to Logitech for providing this review copy. Let's get into it. The Logitech Astro A50 headset is probably one of the best headsets I think I've ever used. In fact, what you're listening to right now is actually the headset. See, the Astro A50s are top notch. They are cream of the crop. You're going to find really good performance and really good quality and comfort with this headset. There's a lot of things I want to cover in this review, as well as the look, the feel, the build quality, the button placement, as well as comfort, the dock, and most importantly, working with multiple consoles. There's a lot to get into, so let's do it. Right off the bat, let's talk about the look. The A50s are really nice, and I actually like the way that the black with red wire accents kind of showcase just little things that you would see out of something out of like a cyberpunk. There are metal rods here that help kind of with the adjustment of the actual headset. And the headset themselves are very comfortable. As I typically wear a hat, it's not too much of a stress on my head, but these do have nice fabric ear cups. I overall really like the aesthetic. I think they've done a really good job of making this something that feels good but looks like a high quality headset. The only issue that I have right now is that the microphone arm itself does not detach. In fact, this is one of the main things that I have problems with headsets in general is when you have a microphone that it does not attach or does not detach from the actual headset. Instead, to mute, you actually flip up on the headset like so. So one of the reasons why I have trouble with these is sometimes these can get loose or do not stay in the same place all the time after wear and tear. So I try to make sure not to use this too often, but it is being the only way to mute something that will eventually wear down. So just kind of keep that in mind, though I don't suspect this will happen anytime soon. The feel of the headsets is really nice, and the only concern I have is the headband portion up here. This plastic does feel a little bit lighter, and I am kind of concerned that it might crack in the future. That would probably be after a lot of wear and tear, and your head size is definitely going to impact this, as these will only stretch out so far. The one thing that I do really like about these headsets are the actual ear cups themselves. So the ear cups are fabric and they are attached by magnets, which means you can remove them fairly easily and actually wash them on a regular basis, which I would recommend if you haven't been doing already with your other headphones. The nice thing about these is that they aren't pleather, which means that over time these aren't going to get oily and greasy and flake as many other headsets I've had in the past have done. Now, while you can replace the ear cups on those, these are very easy. I love the fact that they're attached by magnets. It's easy to just pop them off and then put on replacements or these after you've washed them. Very nice. I highly recommend that aspect for future headsets. Next, I wanted to get into the button placement. Everything on the headset lives on the right side here, which is helpful, but all the buttons feel the same. Granted, you do only have three of them. One of them is to switch the source from one console to another. The other one is for Bluetooth, and the third is just a switch for the actual power button. The volume dial lives on the bottom here. And this is always a subject of soreness for me when it comes to headsets because the granularity can sometimes wear over time depending on how you use this. If you're using it a lot, chances are you're probably going to lose some of that little fine tune kind of volume dial that you need when you just want to turn something down a little bit. The only other button that there is actually for the game balance and voice balance here. And it's a rocker switch that you can either push forward or push back to change the balance between the game sound and the voice chat. I do really like this on some cases because some games are going to be louder than others, and you want to be able to hear your teammates as you're playing. So, glad that they included that as a feature. Everything on the left hand side is just the microphone itself. There are no other dials or switches. Everything is all on the right headset side. Next, I want to get to talking about the actual dock for the headset. The dock for the A50s is nice and comes with an additional cable to connect up to two devices out of the box. If you want to connect up to all three, you will need additional USB-C cables. This is one of the issues that I think I have with the headset overall is just they don't provide you enough cables to be able to hook up multiple headsets or multiple consoles actually. But to be fair, having all three as an option is going to be kind of the outlier. So I do understand that there's a very niche use case for this. The assumption here is that most people probably only have one or two consoles to be able to hook up. I myself currently on the back system, the TV here, I have my Nintendo Switch and an Xbox Series X. Switching between the two has actually been very easy, although there is one issue that I do have with the dock. When you are connected up to the Nintendo Switch, it considers it a separate USB device. Now, that's not necessarily a problem unless you're swapping between multiple consoles. So, one issue that I've had is if I've wanted to switch over to my Nintendo Switch and I've had the dock connected up to the headset, but the headsets are sitting in the charger. If I want to listen to the actual Nintendo Switch's audio through the TV, I have to go and actually change the source on the headset. I have to actually switch it over to something else because otherwise, as it is connected and charging to the Nintendo Switch and the Xbox Series X, it still recognizes that as a USB source for the audio, which means it won't actually pipe the audio into the TV. The only gripe I really have as far as it comes to the actual consoles being able to switch between the three, I have tried this out with an Xbox Series X and a PlayStation 5, and it works seamlessly, as well as the Xbox Series X and a Switch. So, aside from the one little gripe I have about the weird way that Nintendo does their audio, these work perfectly for gamers who are using them for multiple consoles. So, A plus on that one as well too. Next, I wanted to get into the actual sound. The sound, I have to say, is amazing. I have had to fiddle with the settings from here and there, and one thing that I do like is that they actually include the option for Dolby Atmos. Dolby Atmos is kind of the standard for a lot of gaming consoles nowadays, and it is really good audio. It does help me out. And I am very big stickler when it comes to audio, as I do a lot of podcasts. So I will say these do sound great. They do have a lot of the range when it comes to the equalizer, and you can go into a lot of presets when you are using this with the Logitech G Hub on the PC. As far as I'm concerned, these are going to be just fine for anyone who uses multiple consoles when it comes to playing games like Call of Duty or Sea of Thieves, where audio is extremely important. You need to be able to hear where people are coming from, and the spatial audio that comes with these is fantastic. So Atmos is an A plus there as well too. Next, let's talk about the microphone. The microphone here is probably one of the best microphones that I've ever been able to use on a headset, and I've used a couple headsets in the past that I thought would be good. But given that this microphone is going to be something that everyone is going to use, the build quality and the actual quality of the microphone itself is fantastic. We are looking at a sample rating of up to 16-bit at 48 kilohertz, which is already above the standard of what most podcasts require. Most podcasts ask you to record at least 44 kilohertz for the actual sample rating. This is an omnidirectional microphone, so don't expect anything like a condenser microphone compared to like an Shure SM7B or a Shure MV7 if you're familiar with some of the higher quality microphones that require like a preamp as well as like a mixing board just to be able to get some of the studio quality audio. This is something that you can record podcasts with. This is something that you can live stream with. It is a very good microphone. And outside of a few issues that I've heard from other people telling me that they've heard the audio drop out or that it's been cutting out, things like that, it's always hard to know when you're in the middle of a game if what you're actually experiencing is because of the internet service provider and voice chat, the servers, what have you. But when I've sat down to actually record audio in Audition using this microphone, as well as my Shure microphone, this one is just as good. I'm very impressed with the actual quality. Many people will be able to tell the difference as they've been listening to me use a Shure microphone for years now. But After a while, it's hard to notice the difference. And given the quality of the actual microphone, this is definitely something that I can recommend as higher than most people would expect coming from a headset. The wireless technology itself is fantastic. We are looking at what they call Lightspeed wireless at 28 bits per 48 kilohertz, and up to 12 meters of usage. So, this is something that I have walked around my apartment, which is around 990 square feet. I've been able to walk around some of the thicker walls in the apartment and still have really good connectivity with it. Still be able to hear people crystal clear and still be able to communicate them, even when I'm going into the kitchen to get some more coffee or an ice cream bar, depending on my mood, especially after the last match. I won't get into it. The headset itself is nice and light. I've been really happy with how comfortable it is, and is definitely something that I have spent multiple hours hanging out in and actually just wearing on a regular basis. Some of the other features that I actually really love about this is that the Bluetooth system is separate from the actual wireless system itself. So you can have your phone connected up to your headset to be able to listen to people in Discord if you're on Switch and want to have a session with them playing Mario Kart, but not have to worry about voice chat through the Nintendo app. You can also use this for things like listening to Spotify or YouTube or other devices, any apps on your phone that you want to listen to, you can still listen to those as well as the game that you're playing on the console. I really like that feature. It was something that really pushed me when we didn't have Discord integrated into consoles. But the fact that you can do phone calls and stuff on the actual phone while still playing a game connected up to both is fantastic. The battery life is amazing. I will say I've had these because I typically do sessions where I'm going anywhere from 4 to 8 hours of gameplay, depending on the day or how much time I need to spend doing something, or if I'm just using them throughout the day as I'm kind of doing stuff and listening to videos before I get into my game sessions at night. And what I will say is that these tend to last all day. I have yet to have these really die on me. Most headsets that I've used in the past will give you somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 to 12 hours. These feel fantastic. They say that they're worth about 24 hours of playtime. I have not been able to get these to die yet. Every time that I have used them, I've been able to use them all day, and they are still full of juice. I end up sticking them back on the charging dock at the end of my day, and I get up in the morning and they're fully charged. Having the magnetic charging system on the actual dock is one of my favorite features. Though I have noticed over time, because I've worn these for so long, they have kind of rested in the same state that my head is. No longer are they nice and tight, where the two bottom parts of the actual headset will come together. So I do have to push them down into the little dock, but I expect that to be a normal use case for everyone. Everyone is going to have these kind of fit the shape of their head, and you will just kind of have to make sure that it is seated well with the microphone up when you are setting it in your dock. That being said, the dock is really nice. I think they've done a great job with the quality. Switching over from past generations that they've had in the past, this is the Gen 5, which means that you are going to be getting the benefit of USB-C across the board. Every single input is going to be done with USB-C. No longer are you having to worry about the type of connection that it is or sticking the HDMI cable in there. It's all fixed with USB-C. So I really like that aspect of it. I'm looking forward to when more and more devices actually utilize USB-C on the regular than just the USB Type A to USB Type C. So, really happy about that. Outside of that, everything else feels really nice. I've been very happy with these headphones. I think that if it weren't for having a Shure microphone with a Go XLR mixing board and a mic arm, I would probably use these as my regular drivers when it comes to podcasting. But as I have already kind of invested a lot into HyperX for other headphones for recording audio, these are going to be for everything else. If I can use these for other consoles, for just playing around or hanging out, these are going to be moving around with me on the regular. In fact, I kind of wish that Logitech would actually sell a separate dock that could be used for multiple locations, kind of like a Nintendo Switch dock. Because if I could have one dock that's for my bedroom where I have two of my consoles, and then one dock for my living room where two of my other consoles live, then I would be able to switch between the two. As it is, I've only got the one docking station. So if I want to charge these and use them across multiple consoles in different rooms, I would probably have to pick up a second pair, which isn't too bad of a thing for me if I'm going to be spending more time out there. So who knows? But again, thank you a lot to Logitech for providing this review copy. It has been a fantastic experience, and I've loved spending all the hours using these headsets. If you guys haven't been convinced that this is probably one of the best headsets you can buy on the market, I don't know what else to say other than you really need to consider getting these, especially if you are looking to have something that is going to be your solution for multiple consoles with really comfortable headset, ear cups that are replaceable, the really nice microphone, the really great sound, and just a nice look overall. So, thanks everyone for watching. Hope you guys have a good day and keep in tune to Xbox Expansion Pass for future reviews on other hardware. Yeah.